Dees, always a pleasure, mate. I'm very happy to be here. Welcome to all of our viewers.
Yes, hello to everyone out there. It's good to have you, and we're looking forward to tonight's race, Moosey. It's going to be a cracker. Hopefully, it should be an exciting race, just like we had last night for Tier 3. And reports we can't hear Moose. That should be fixed now. Just a small issue that I've fixed up. So it should be all good on your end now, guys, to hear Moosey. But yeah, it was a great race last night, and it's going to be a good one tonight as well, and tomorrow night might even be better.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Let me know if you can hear me now, boys. Yeah, last night we saw a couple of glitches through the system, but hopefully we won't have any of that tonight for this race.
Yeah, I think it might have been to do with the server maintenance that was going on, and I think we had a driver leave and rejoin the session, which may have played with the lobby a little bit, but it seemed to clear up for the last 10 laps, which gave us a nice sprint to the end. Not for yourself, mate, but at the front it was cracking.
Yeah, thanks for rubbing a bit of salt in the wound there, mate. Not my finest night, but I'm sure I'll more than accept whatever the stewards from the OSRL decide to give me, and I'll have absolutely no defence. I had a bit of an off night, and it is what it is. But we'll get into tonight's action. We do have 15 turns of this 5.4 kilometre circuit with a lap record of a 1:31.4, mate. 29 laps will come to us tonight.
That's it, mate. And full grid, as always, here in the Oceania Series Racing League, my apologies. And the grid for tonight, the Mercedes of Crazy Kiwi and Brad Tay, Dino 420 Fam and Blue Dog are your Ferraris, Gamer Unverified and Johnny M4 in the Red Bulls, Nick Magoo and Oversroll Donny in the McLarens, Darkness Abyss Suicide 5 are in the Alpine team, Miles and Milligains in the Alpha Tauri, Firefish Spy and Rui for the Aston Martin brand, and Fury Strat, JK for Alfa Romeo, Nat Hammer and Kraken are in the Haas, and M Stone and Stig round out the grid in the Williams, mate. But it should be a great race. Just two reserves tonight in Miles and Game Unverified, but both of those guys are very quick, as they've shown throughout the pre-season.
Yeah, absolutely. They have. In last week, Gamer Unverified, he raced in the Tier 3 competition, and he was He was well and truly too good for the Tier 3 guys. He's jumped up into the Tier 2 competition as a reserve driver, and I am looking for big things from him here tonight.
Absolutely, he looked very impressive on his outing in Silverstone in the Tier 3 social or pre-season testing, or wherever you want to refer to it as. But it's 7:30 now, and we should be getting ready to kick it off now. I see Donny, our leader, our lobby host, has readied up, so we're going to get underway very shortly. The full qualifying format, as always, we like to remind everyone there might be new viewers, being the start of a new season. So the full qualifying format, and then followed by the 29 laps, as you said, Moosey. And weather, inclement weather, not exactly a big factor here. It is the middle of the desert. If there were sandstorms in the game, that would be pretty cool. And Skate, hello to you, mate. Very well yourself. And hello to everyone else out in the chat. I can see a few of the lads, Bozza, Jidoku, Beans, Sushi, Absolute Tie Star, Darkness Abyss. That's Tough Chef. Hello to you all, guys. And yes, some streams with some very strong starts last night in Tier 3. Let's see if the Tier 2 drivers can carry the torch now for the second race of the season. But yeah, it's already looking spicy. One race in out of what will be 69 races across 3 divisions.
69 races across 3 divisions, and we are going to watch every single minute of the action across all 3. And mate, I am going to have no fingernails left by the end of this season.
Going to be biting them all off, are you, Moosey?
That's exactly right, mate.
Well, there's definitely some nail biting stuff to come, hopefully tonight. As even in Q1, it's going to be very close. We saw how close this grid is last week at Silverstone, and in Spain as well 2 weeks ago for the pre-season. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting and almost impossible to say who's going to be out in the first 18 minutes of qualifying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in Q1 last week, especially, we had half a second cover the top. Was it the top 15 drivers at the end of the session?
It was almost ridiculous to a point, but it was very close. And this is where it's very important not to make a mistake in Q1, especially something that will result in terminal damage, as we saw for a couple of the drivers throughout last night's qualifying. It really will cost you, but it could also work out for you, as it did for Reedy last night, who came from 15th to 1st at the end of the 29 laps.
Yeah, too right, mate. And I dare say there was a few drivers on the grid last night that were a little bit unhappy with a few things. Quite frankly, they're absolutely rapid drivers. So the Tier 3 competition, as well as Tier 2 and Tier 1, it's just going to be action-packed non-stop. And I, for one, am looking forward to each and every second of it.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's going to be one to watch. As first and only driver out is Darkness Abyss in the Alpine, who, if I done my maths correctly, lead the Constructors' Championship alongside Williams. And, well, technically Williams would be leading it as they have a race win. So Alpine and Williams had cracking starts last night in Tier 3.
Mate, it's we've had one race out of the how many was it? 69 races.
69. It's a little it's a bit convenient, that, isn't it?
So we won't count our chickens just yet. I'll stick up for the Rari boys here. The Trafisi will be up and about, and I'm putting my money on Ferrari. As a Ferrari driver, I am very, very biased, but that's where my tip's going.
Well, that's it, mate. And Italy, the only country to have 2 races on the calendar for our OSRL Championship here. So you'll get 2 home races, a bit of an advantage for yourselves in that red Scarlet Ferrari, as well as the AlphaTauri team, obviously being another Italian-based team. But here we go. Here comes Darkness Abyss out of the final corner. And everyone, get in your questions for hashtag Ask Moosey and hashtag Ask Daisy. We'll be answering them throughout the qualifying session. But here comes Darkness down into turn number 1, hard onto the brakes. Second gear, hooks up the apex very nicely now. Moves to the right to open up the left-hander of turn number 2. And now powering down this straight towards turn number 4, 8883. Thank you for the follow, mate. We appreciate it as Darkness comes through turn 4. Hooked up the apex not too badly there. And now the end of sector 1 at 27.7 for Darkness. And already pushing the curves here in Q1, which can be very deadly, as you found out, I think, last night on an outlap, Moosey, in Q3. But, yes, Darkness just looking like a nice little lap here in Q1 from Darkness Abyss.
Yeah, that curve really did cost me in Q3. I didn't see the timer left and slowed right down so that I'd get a toe off. I think it was a McLaren driver at the time. And I ran out of seconds in the session. So you always have to have one eye on the clock, that's for sure. As Darkness Abyss is taking a very nice line there, and he's a bit lucky to not invalidate there, I think, as he comes onto this second long straight of the lap.
Yeah, the sort of final straight towards the final corner, and it was a 4-point-something, a high 4 to the second sector, which was faster than anything I think I saw last night. So Darkness definitely on a good lap here in the Alpine. Expect to see 25. Almost. So already it's the low 26s here in Q1. That is a nice little lap from Darkness Abyss. We've got Gamer Unverified. Man, we've pumped up in the pre-talk. He had a good showing last week. Can he go well again here in the desert? A different track from Silverstone, but still got some similar characteristic long straights, S's section, some deadly curves. So Gamer Unverified will looking for a strong performance from you tonight, son. And here he comes to the line, and 4 tenths back from Darkness, but
that's
a
a
nice little lap there.
Back.
Definitely a good lap to put in at the start of the session as Oliver F188. Thank you for the follow, my friend. Welcome to Q1 here for Tier 2, as we've got Rui coming through the final quarter now. The Brit from Perth, Australia. Can he put in a competitive lap time to start this session? Yes, he can. So he goes to the 26.2. And it'll be interesting to see sort of what the cutoff time will be after we get a few more times on the board, as Kiwi's gone a second back from Darkness.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing a few cheeky little Ask Moosies in the Twitch chat. How do I spot my breaking point? Is that a euphemism for whatever happened last night? I'll leave that one alone.
We ignore the haters here, Moosey.
That's exactly
haters
right.
Haters ain't shit. Mate, if you got some haters...
Ty-Star with another one. What's the favourite number? Favourite number's 13, mate, because luck is for losers. You don't need luck in life.
Make your own luck, Moosey.
That's it.
Who's out there on a lap? I think Kiwi is still continuing to push in the Mercedes for a second timed lap after he had a bit of an incident on his first lap, being a second off the pace. Kiwi, a very quick driver here in this Tier 2 division. It's almost a Tier 1.5, the pace of these drivers. As Benji's timed out that Jake Sando for that cheeky little snarly comment, Moosey. So there you go, sucked in Sando. But here comes Kiwi. He's going to really struggle for time here in the final sector with a lack of battery power. But can he improve, or will he be coming into the pit lane? He's going to finish off the lap, so he must be up on his time somewhat. And yes, he is, 7/10 up. So Kiwi goes to a 26.4. Well done, mate. And we'll pick up Nick Magoo in the McLaren. So he's coming up turn number 12 now. That very dangerous inside curve there at 12. And purple to the middle sector for Nick Magoo, a 4.8. That's pretty quick. Pretty similar to what Darkness had. I think it might have been a 4.9 for Darkness. So Nick Magoo looking to take provisional P1 with 11 minutes on the track. On the clock. And we haven't got that many drivers out on track yet, Moosey.
No, not at all, mate. And Dino 420 fam is the only one on a lap. He's just coming through the first sector now in the Ferrari. Yellow flag there for someone just going a little bit slowly, I think. So nothing doing there. Dino 420 fam on a lap as he comes to the end of this first sector here, as he goes purple through there, and that's not a bad first sector at all. Couple of lines you could take into this corner here, and he's taken a very nice one there. This downhill braking point is probably the hardest braking point on the track, although yeah, maybe turn one we'll discuss later. Get that rear wing right open as far as it'll go, and yeah, nice and late on the brakes. Runs a little bit wide there, but gets away with it. Wants to stay off this curve here on the right-hand side, because that'll turn you around in a heartbeat. As he goes purple again through the middle sector.
That's very quick, mate. That's over half a second up.
Straightens the car up, and he's only got one braking point left to find. He leaves himself plenty of room there. Hits that braking point very nicely. Opens the car up, and he will come across the line.
We had low 25, yes,
25-3.
That was very quick. I could tell as he came across the second sector line. He was almost 3/4 of a second up on Darkness's time. So very quick lap there from Dino, our pole sitter last week in Silverstone for the pre-season test. And we've got the Stig coming round now in the Williams. He's coming up towards the end of the second sector. And he's put in a 4.6, so this is going to be very competitive. It's going to definitely put him into the 25s if he can just set a nice little sector 3 here.
Yeah, that's it. And I am just a bit lost. Yeah, I've lost all my time.
Very weird. Alright, so I'll finish this lap up for Sticky. Here he comes to the line and goes into third. So lost a little bit of time there in sector 3 to the rival of Darkness Abyss. I think that was Nick Magoo. Crossing line to improve no, it was not Nick Magoo, someone to start a lap as his teammate starting a lap. So we'll go we'll go with your teammate, Blue Dog in the Ferrari, mate, number 55. So a bit of a Carlos Sainz-esque type move. Yes, Oliver, sub-pipe, we love it, mate. Get it around it. As Blue Dog, very quick driver, consistent driver is Blue Dog, very good in the race. And loves a good Q3 appearance, and will definitely be a good consistent points guy, I'd say, throughout this season. But he's a little bit off the pace here through sector 2, so he might need to be looking for a bit more time on a second run. But we'll just see how the times come out. The cut-off time is definitely going to be probably in the 26s, mate. It's just where in the 26s it'll be. And a bit of a snap there for Blue Dog at the exit of 15 as he comes towards the line. DRS open and goes into 8th position in the Ferrari.
He'll need to go again, I think. That's not a very safe time at all there.
Who's that? Oh, it's Miles just moving off the circuit to allow someone past, as I think it is Donny. He is furthest around. He is in the McLaren, and I didn't quite catch that sector time from Donny as he's coming now down towards the final corner, or 2 corners as they classify, but we're just the final corner there at the
Is
apex
it 2
of 14.
corners?
Yeah, so you know how kind of you turn and then there's another kink?
Oh yeah, it sort of kinks, doesn't it?
It's classified as 2 corners.
There from Donny.
Yeah, that's right. But you sort of hook up the apex and you just power out of it as if it was 1 corner. But Donny goes up into 9th there, so he'll definitely need to be going again. A lot of drivers out there on the track at the moment. Suicide 5's coming towards the 5 corner, and definitely looks like he may have had traffic on that lap. He's got a Haas right close company behind. Not sure which Haas that is, whether it be Kraken or Nathammer. It was Nathammer. So Suicide 5 goes at 13th. Nathammer is 12th. I think that was, who was that? It was M-Stone going up to 3rd. So a nice little lap from him. Who else have we got out there? I think Millie Gaines as well as Fury Struts. Fury Struts off. And Kraken's retired. He's crashed, mate.
Yeah, he's crashed there in just the end of that first sector there. I think that might actually be the end of that first sector.
Yeah, right at the sector timing line there. And it's it might have just gotten a bit loose on traction there out of turn 4 and sent it off into the wall on the right. A bit Sebastian Vettel-esque in, 2019, I think it was in Bahrain when he did that one.
Yeah,
but
that was the beginning of the end there for Seb, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was all a bit of a decline after that incident in Germany 2018, but here comes Milligains in the Alpha Tauri coming out of the final corner. Your first pole setter in the pre-season was Milligains in Spain. It goes up into 6th in the Alpha Tauri, so a nice little time from him. Here comes Crazy Kiwi. He goes pretty even to his time, so doesn't move up the timing board. Next one is Flourish Expire. He's coming out of the final corner now, and let's see what Flourish can lay down here. Big Papa Flourish was in the Q3 last night and finished, I think it was 5th place, so good points for Aston Martin. As I think Suicide 5 there goes up into 11th place. I think the next one is Fury Stripe, just crossing the line to open up another lap. As a Mercedes of Brad Tay is now coming towards the line. And he improves by 1/10 but stays in 16th and the slowest time so far of the session. I think Johnny and Ford is out there on a lap at the moment as he is just coming around sector 2. And his teammate is just pulling into the pit lane, Gamer Unverified. So Johnny and 4 definitely very quick in quali trim, indicating a purple second sector. Not sure about that. I think Dino did a 4.3 through there. So Dino has about 4-5 tenths on hand to Johnny and 4 as it stands. And that just really speaks to how quick his lap time is. You know, he's 4 tenths over Nat Hammer at the front. And then it's very close from the back of Nat Hammer down.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's worth mentioning as well, the tyre degradation on this Bahrain circuit is absolutely ridiculous. You know, one hot lap could earn you anywhere up to 7 or 8% on those tyres, so you may only get the one really rapid lap in on a set of tyres in a qualifying run, so there's definitely no room to make mistakes anywhere out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Miles is going for a second lap here, and this looks like it could be a pretty good time here for Miles, and he does. He improves by almost half a second there and goes up into the top 10 in 8th position.
Mr. Fury.
As I think Fury is coming now. Yeah, Fury. Here comes Fury, 26-2. And it's half a second down from 2nd to 11th, mate. It's very, very close. And it's going to be all the way through the qualifying sessions can be this close among the drivers. As we're starting to see most of the drivers coming into the pit lane, but I tell you a driver who isn't. It is Jay Kelly, and he's just starting up his account here in Q1. So let's run on board, and you can take us through it, Moosey.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Brake as late as you can, not too late into turn 1. He hits the apex a little bit compromised, and he is around. So yes, Jay Kelly, he'll have to limp those tyres. That will be red hot right now, so he'll try and get around. He will definitely get around to the line again. It will be all about how much life he has or has not taken out of those tyres.
Yeah, we just have to take it very slow, as you're saying, high degradation here in Bahrain. So just take it easy, mate. Get those tyre temps back under control and go for it again. He's still got plenty of time. I think it's around 2.5 minutes to go now in the session. with those yellows being waved, which is a bit of a frustration on this game.
Yeah.
As Absolute with the Tier 1 sub. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate it. And well done last night. You had a cracking race. Unfortunate for you with a bit of damage there from lap 1, which definitely did compromise you. How strong is the undercut? Pretty strong around here, especially given the tyre degradation. And depending what tyre you put on, the softs are rapid for the first couple of laps before they drop off. So we'll see at the start of the race if there's people on the softs towards the front. We would expect them to run away for a first few laps, and then the medium runners may chase them down. But yes, JK is just coming towards the final corner to start another lap. I think we've got Fury out there who went again but didn't improve, as well as we got Rui starting a lap. He's coming towards turn 4, so really maximising the track width there on the entry. Third gear on the apex, a bit of understeer, as you can tend to have up in this game, and now running over that curb, and goes in a little bit deep at 6. Will compromise him through 7 on the run down towards turn number 8, but he touches that apex curb a little bit more than I think you would like, which may affect your traction out of the corner, and now down into turn 10. As you're saying, a very tricky braking zone, especially for those running no ABS. Rear locking, definitely a big issue down into turn 10 there. And now the DRS is open down the back inner straight towards turn 11. Hooks up the apex nicely, and now rising up over the curb there, and he's around. And he's got the for Romeo of Fury coming through, but he wasn't on a lap, so no biggie. But yeah, Rui just touching that exit curb, and it sent him round, I think similar to someone we had last night. I just can't remember who it was.
Oh, mate, there's plenty of trolls in here tonight, so mate, you might as well jump on that bandwagon as well. As I'm on board trying to do the right thing and move on. I'm on board with Blue Dog, who's on a fast lap again. He didn't go purple through his first sector. He's just coming up the hill into the end of the second sector here, trying to stay away from that inside curb. He's about 2 tenths better than his personal best, and he needs every bit of those 2 tenths. 2 tenths at the moment will elevate him out of the bottom 15, out of the bottom 5. Sorry. So he comes around the final corner, and he will come across the line and try to improve. He goes to P14 with a 26.4. Other drivers in the drop zone. We have Kraken, who is out at the moment. Jay Kelly, he's on a hot lap as well. Brad Tay, OSRL Donny, and Flourish Expire all trying to get themselves out of this bottom 4. Flourish Expire is a couple of tenths up. OSRL Donny improved by 3 tenths, but he'll have to go again. Brad Tay,
mate. Brad Tay coming out of the final corner. He was 3 tenths up to the middle sector. He's going to have to find a bit more to get out. He finds a further 2 tenths and goes up into 12th. Let's see what the drivers behind can do about it. I think the first one is going to be Fury Strut in 11th. So Fury in the Alfa Romeo. He's coming down towards the final corner. Can he move himself further up the grid, or will he be in 11th? No, he's invalidated. So he will not set a faster time. Then is Jay Kelly. He is 2.5 tenths up, and he's going to have to find quite a bit more in this final sector to have any chance of elevating himself out of the session. And here he comes towards the line, does Jay Kelly, and he stays 19th. Flourish, he's half a second up, and he goes up into P5, so a nice lap there. A very good lap there from Flourish. I think Suicide 5 is out of the final corner, and he's backing off, mate, so Suicide 5
Donny's a little bit down on a time. He's about a tenth down on his personal best, so he's going to need
Blue Dog coming into the pit lane. Blue Dog coming into the pit lane. Here comes Stick. He improves by 2 tenths. So all eyes are on Donny. Will he knock Gamer Unverified out? No! It is very close. But Donny misses out on Q2 by just about, it's 16 thousandths of a second, which is, if you blink, you'll miss it. So very close among the drivers. But we're going to lose Kraken, who unfortunately had that incident at the exit of turn 4. Jay Kelly, Suicide 5, Blue Dog, and OSRL Donny. They are the drop zone recipients of Q1. And so we look forward to Q2 now.
Yeah, that we do, mate. Absolutely. Q2 the most strategic of the 3 qualifying sessions. It will all be about what time you set your fastest lap time on in that session.
Yeah, absolutely. The medium tyre is definitely the optimal tyre to start on. You can carry it much further into the race with much better pace throughout the first stint. You might not get the initial launch in the first couple of laps, but after that you will have all the advantage on your soft runners. And expect to see hard tyres as well at the start for those who can't make it into the top 10. I think we saw 2 drivers of the Dirty Orange, and I'm not sure of the second last night. But yeah, a couple drivers running that tyre at the start of the race. Didn't quite work out with them for the safety cars, and that's the risk you sort of run with the hard compound tyre. You can get a safety car, and it can sort of throw your strategy off.
Back to second.
No worries, mate. So, we'll say it again. It's cracking. It's Jay Kelly, Suicide 5, Blue Dog, and Johnny, who we lose. And Gamer Unverified makes it into Q2 by the skin of his teeth in the Red Bull. And here we go. It's time for Q2, and medium tyres will be fitted aplenty, I believe. It's sort of a question of when you go out there on the medium tyre, being that the track will improve throughout the session, but you kind of want to leave yourself enough time to get out for a soft run at the end if you want to make Q3 and sort of get the best starting position as opposed to the optimal strategy. Bahrain, a circuit that you can overtake on, definitely. So starting inside the top 10 may not be the best advantage. It's sort of your choice, as we've got a few drivers indicating the medium tyres already. But we'll see what happens, see who ventures out first. I see a Haas car of Nat Hammer and the McLaren of Nick Magoo coming out. Looks like the Mercedes are getting ready for Brad Tay there. So they're just lifting him off the jacks. The tyre blankets are coming off. But we'll go into Nat Hammer. He's just coming out of the pit lane at turn 2 now. And you sort of need to crawl a little bit in the outlap here to have tyre temperatures in the right window. Dan the Racer, we appreciate your follow, mate. Well done last night. A good performance from yourself, P4. And here we go. It's time for Q2. And the prediction is in the chat. If you think 7 or more drivers will make it through on the mediums or not, bet your channel points. You will win more channel points back for channel point redemptions. You can time out your friends. You can do whatever you like. Add time, guide the raid, etc.
Mate, that's new. I like that. That's good.
It is good.
Bit of action.
The predictions. That's it, mate. A bit of prediction. Get the people involved. And it's looking like we're going to have lots of drivers over, apparently, according to the people. And as we were saying last night on the stream, it's more a matter of how many people go out on the softs at the end. If to depend on how many people get through on the mediums. But Nat Hammer, he's out there on the soft tyre, and we'll see what his intentions are come the end of this one in terms of the lap time set. But here we go. He's winding out of the final corner, and he's going full pace down the straight now. And it appears that he's forgotten to turn his battery on, or that might be deliberate, as he may be just looking to set a delta time to chase on the medium tyre later in the session.
Yeah, I think that is the case. I did that last night, and it was incredibly effective. Was it Q1 or Q2 that I topped the session last night?
I think it might have been Q1, mate.
Yeah, don't know how I managed that, but I did have a ridiculous amount of pace there at one point last night. But I do believe that Nat Hammer will be on just a delta posting time.
Yeah, definitely. With no ERS on, it is a mistake you can make. I think we've all made it at some point, but it's also a definite way to lay down a slower time that you can chase on the medium compound tyre. And I just find it nice to have a delta time to chase, and you can see, if you're up or down, and it can just help you decide whether you need to come into the pit lane and maybe put softs on. If you're running it quite close on the timing at the end of the session. But here comes that Hammer, and yeah, it's a 6.3 into the middle sector, so definitely, we know he's not going to be going that fast with no ERS, but that just confirms it for us, as this will be a delta lap time set. So we'll go back to Nick Magoo. He's invalidated in the McLaren, so we'll have a look at someone else. We'll have a look at Mr. Fury Strat. He also has the ERS turned off, so similar strategies for all of the drivers out there. Maybe Brad Tay, yes, he is pushing, so he's got the ARS cranked right up, and he's pushing in the Mercedes.
As
and
to
it's a
Johnny
5.9.
M4.
Johnny M4 as well. Johnny M4, quick qualifier, but he's already out on the medium tyres, mate. So our first medium lap times, as well as his teammate as well, Gamer Unverified. So the Red Bull's out early on the mediums, running a bit of a different strategy to what we're seeing from the other drivers. So Furious Strat puts in his Delta lap time, and I think Brad Tays, he's slowing down at the final corner, so also a Delta lap time to him.
Oh, Johnny M4's around, and he's just kept it out of the wall.
He has just kept it out of the wall. Don't reverse onto the track.
Oh.
Your teammate's coming, mate.
Wow,
He's coming, Gamer Unverified. So just sneaks past there at the apex of 13. Does Mr. Unverified Gamer. I'd love to know your actual name, mate. So it's a bit of a mouthful. He's Gamer Unverified. But here he comes. He does go first position, as you sort of expect with Delta times being set, but
significantly slower than Q1 though.
I was about to say he's going to have to find more time than that. That will be, I suspect, easily beaten later in the session, as Johnny M4 will definitely now be pushing on for a second attempt on those mediums, so we'll pick him up. Mr. Unverified Gamer might be pushing as well, but we'll ride with Johnny M4, and with the lap times in the low 25s for Dino at least, or the mid to high 25s for the rest of the field in Q1, expect to be a medium cut-off time of around the mid to high 26s, I'd say, mate. So you'd be aiming for a 26.5, I think, on those mediums to feel any sort of comfort.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you probably even need to dip into the 26.4s.
Yeah, the lower you can go, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. As Gamer Unverified, I'm still on board with him, and he's just moved off the racing line, but that's because he's not on a lap. I'm looking for someone on a lap and not finding anyone.
Yes, that's right, mate. And it's sort of a thing, you want to be sort of the head medium runner or towards the front of the medium runners, because it means you're less likely to be knocked out by soft runners. I think, as you were last night, Moose, I think you were the head of the medium runners in Q2 last night, which definitely gives you some sort of security, knowing that not all of those guys are going to go out. They're going to chance it to see if they can make it on the meds. But Johnny M4, this is looking like a better lap time compared to what we saw from Mr. Unverified Gamer in the second Red Bull. But here he comes, Johnny M4. He goes to a 27.0, so finds half a second or 4/10 on his teammate. But I still don't think that's going to be enough, mate.
More importantly, he's done an extra lap on those tyres because he had that spin out of sector 2 there.
I think if you do the 2 laps is the absolute maximum you want to be doing on a medium tyre in Q2.
Yeah,
obviously, getting through on 1 lap is the preferred option, but it's not the end of the world, especially seeing as in the race, most drivers will tend to undercut or try to undercut their rivals, meaning that they won't need every bit of tyre life out of those mediums at the end of the stint, as they'll come in early for probably the hard compound tyre if we see green flag racing until the pit stops.
Yeah, so last night is a prime example. I started the race on the medium compound tyre, and by lap 6 I was catching the guys on the soft tyres ahead of me. So if you can get through on that medium compound tyre, it's just going to give you so many more strategic options. As we see Darkness Abyss starting a lap now. So many more strategic options, and it's just going to bring you right into play rather than have those soft compound tyres just fall off the cliff at about lap 6 or 8.
Yeah, that's right, mate. I think Darkness here is on a Delta lap time, as he's got no ERS turned up. So we'll go to someone on a lap. That is Crazy Kiwi in the Mercedes on the medium tyre. And let's see if he can go a little bit faster than he did respectively in Q1. I think he was just outside of the top 10. So Kiwi, definitely a quick driver. So we expect to see him towards the top 10 throughout the season, as he does go purple in the first sector. So a nice first sector now, 2 to go for Crazy Kiwi.
Yeah, he went a little bit deep into that long right-hander. Let's see if he can pick a better braking point as he comes down the hill, and that's a very good line as you come down the hill into that hard braking zone. Onto the, we'll call it the back straight. He comes now as the long left-hander up the hill there, and you want to stay off this curb on the right-hand side. It's caught a few drivers out. He just takes a little bit of it. He would have been very, very careful there indeed. as I didn't see what his time was in that middle sector, unfortunately. He has definitely improving on a lap time because he hasn't set one. So he'll come around the final corner now and open that car right up, DRS wide open, and that will be a 27.4. So he'll be comfortable with that time, but I think he'll definitely want to go again.
I think you've hit the nail right on the head there, mate. As I think it's the Stig coming out of the final corner now for Williams. Yes, it is. He's got Nick Magoo for company behind. So Stiggy goes to a 28.1. Nick Magoo must have been an invalid time as there is no lap time on the board as a Miller gains. That's more like it. He's into the 26.8 on that medium compound tyre as flanking off and fabulicious. Thank you for the follow, lads. We appreciate it. And I think here comes Nat Hammer on the second attempt for the mediums. He's just under a second up to the second sector. So improving is Nat Hammer. How much will he improve by? 3 seconds, mate. So there you go, Nat Hammer.
That's a great
He's
effort.
into the 26s as well. So these are the lap times we were expecting. Maybe a little bit off what we were expecting outright pace, but not too bad at all. Here comes Flourish. He is going a 5.3 to the second sector. So pretty decent pace from Flourish, I'd say. There on the medium tyre. This would definitely challenge towards the top 5 as it stands currently. There's an AlphaTauri of Miles just opening up a lap, and I think Darkness Abyss is just coming into the pit lane ahead of Flourish. Yes, he is. So here comes Mr. Flourish Expire, and he goes up into third, mate, and very close at the front there between the top 5 on the medium tyres. Less than 2/10 separating the pack as Hey Painy Man will follow. Thank you, mate. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we're not quite seeing the lap times we thought we would, but they're all pretty consistent with each other. So do we see someone try and get through on the soft compound tyres? Will these guys think they're safe on the mediums?
There goes Nick Magoo.
Nick Magoo up
into
second,
26.8.
So a little bit of track evolution as well happening now. So we're the top guys just playing a little bit of chicken with each other, and will these lap times start to fall? It does appear to be the case, mate.
Oh, here comes Dino, mate. He's done a 5.1, so a couple tenths up on what we've seen from, I think, the likes of Flourish Expire. Dino was a bit of a class of his own there in Q1, so here he comes to the final corner. Dino definitely going to shoot himself up towards the front row with this lap time as he's coming towards the line now, and there you go, mate, the 26.4. So that's what we were expecting. Unverified gamer on the soft compound tyre drops it in to first position. As you'd expect with the soft compound tyre. I think Rui is coming across the line in the Alston Martin now, and he goes 14, so he needs to find a bit more time. Miles joins his teammate on the second row, so AlphaTauri on the second row as it stands. I think there is a Mercedes of Crazy Kiwi. He's 2.5 tenths up. He's coming out of the final quarter now. Can he put himself anywhere upside into the top 10, make himself a bit safer? It's only 8th position, and with the remaining time we have, I don't think he's going to be able to get back to the pit lane, mate.
No, not at all. There is only maybe. Probably doubtful. If he turns his battery off, he's maybe got enough life in those tyres to go again. Yeah, the bottom 5 guys, they're all out there on the medium compound tyre. So only Gamer Unverified has opted to go for that softer compound strategy at the moment. I do expect we'll see everyone from probably Miles down to come out again, though.
Yeah, well, the problem is for these drivers, they're running out of time to get out there. Fury might struggle to get out as well. It's going to be right borderline for him. Darkness Abyss and Brad Tay, they're on outlaps on the medium tyre. M-Stone's still sitting in the pit lane for the Williams team. He needs to get out there as well. Johnny and Paul, he's out on the medium tyres. So medium's definitely the tyre of choice. Flourish is coming out on the softs in the Aston Martin.
Yes, he is.
But it's going to be ever closer. Here comes Rui out of the final corner. He goes 11th. So has he got enough to push again? He's not got the ERS, but he may just try flanking off with the rate of 1. We appreciate it, bro. And welcome over. This is OSRL. This is Tier 2. This is Round 1. It is Bahrain. And this is Q2, where we're seeing the bottom 5 drivers being eliminated. And at the moment, it is Brad Tay, Darkness Abyss, Mr. Fury Strat, the Stig, and Rui, who we will be losing And I think a few of these drivers are out of fuel, mate. They're not on a lap, so they're not going to be able to improve at all.
Mr. Fury Strat, he's come into the pits. The Stig has a fuel light on, so those two gentlemen will take no further part in this qualifying session. I think Rui, I saw a red flash of his fuel light, but it's gone away now. So Rui might be very, very borderline on fuel, but we'll see how he goes. He hasn't recharged his battery though, so I dare say that he might be out of this session as well. As Crazy Kiwi feels he's comfortable enough, he has retired in the pit lane.
I think it's more a matter of not being able to get out again, so might as well watch from the spectator menu.
Whoa, Darkness Abyss is 7/10 up, mate.
Well, there you go. Bratte's a little bit further ahead of him on track in the Mercedes, but he is just about 2/10 down on his time, so he's going to have an almighty third sector here to get anywhere near the front row. We know he did back off on his Delta time lap on the soft, so he might be able to do it, mate, Bratte. It's a bit of a mystery as he's coming out of the final corner now in the Mercedes. Can he get anywhere near the top 10? No, it's only 13th for Bratte. Darkness Abyss, he's nearly a second up on his time.
Yeah,
and he's going to have to find a little bit more in the third sector. He needs a second and a half to get inside the top 10. Can he do it?
Oh, he goes
just sneaks in. He goes
Mr. Fury Strat. Can Mr. Fury Strat get to the line, mate? There is a 3 seconds
he
left.
Makes it.
He makes it with 1 second.
He does make it with 1 second. Bratte is pushing again in the Mercedes, but will ride with Fury as he's yet to set a competitive lap time on this medium compound tyre. It's thank you for the follows. We had TWPA and Yummers Your Dad. Bit of an interesting name there, my friend. But you know, each to their own. As Fury now through the corner number 4, he hooked up the Apex Nicely, and now the first sector. He's 4/10 up, mate. There you go.
3.5 tenths. Yeah, he's sorry, go.
No, go ahead, mate.
No, you go, mate.
I was just saying a bit of rounding there from myself. Just making it easy, but yes, Fury, this is looking like a decent little lap time. Went down into the very tricky turn number 10 to see what sort of line he runs. Similar to myself, I don't really like that exit curb as it can upset the traction, but Fury coming down towards turn 11 now. The rear wing shuts closed to give you that extra downforce in the corners, and now on the run up towards turn number 12 and the apex at 13 at the end of the second sector. Fury goes to a 5.5. He's 8/10 up.
This is a competitive lap time.
Bratte, he's peeling off into the pit lane. I think Darkness Abyss is setting another lap time in the Alpine, so he's crossing the line now, and he goes up into 4th as Darkness, so he puts himself well and truly safe from Fury. So it's now Johnny M4 at risk from Fury Strat. Can we push him out? He can just 14 thousandths of a second. Fury gets in, he sneaks in at the death on the medium compound tyre. And that means Johnny M4 will miss out by the narrowest of margins.
10th to 13th is
less than half a second. Half a second.
5/100.
Oh, sorry, not half a second, half a tenth. Half a tenth between those 4 drivers. It is so close. As we were saying earlier, Moose, then every thousand, it's going to count here. And it is heating up for sure, Whitey. So Game Unverified, the sole runner of the soft compound tyre to go through to Q3, and it's Dino Milligains, Darkness Abyss, who pulled in a very nice lap time there at the end. Miles, Nick Magoo, Nat Hammer, Flourish Expire, Crazy Kiwi, and Mr. Fury Strat. They are the 10 drivers we'll see out on track for the final 12 minutes of qualifying, where it is all about flat out pace. And we're hearing from Darkness that he was in low fuel mode as he was coming over the line.
So Darkness has got a bit more time in him then, mate.
He's got a bit more time in. That's what I love to hear, mate. As Johnny M4, M-Stone, Rui, The Stig, and Bratte miss out. So, which teams don't have a driver in? I think almost every team's got a driver in Q3 here, mate.
Yeah,
Well, Alpha Tauri have 2, so I think someone's going to be missing out. But Alpha Tauri, I think Nat Hammer is in. Was he?
We will find out in approximately 4.2 seconds, mate.
Well, that's 4.20, Mr. Dino, 4.20 seconds.
Oh, wow.
So Nat Hammer did make it. So it is, oh God, who is it? It's Williams.
It's
Williams.
No, Darkness Abyss is a Williams, isn't he?
No, Alpine. He's one of my boys.
Well, they're all blue, mate.
I know, it's a bloody nightmare. Here he comes. Darkness is already out. Yeah, Williams. So after an incredible start last night, but they had no drivers, I think, in Q3 last night as well, and they took the win. So who knows, mate? Anything can happen out here on track. And it's Mount on the it's on the OSRL account. So I love you too, Mount. I love you all.
The
Much love to everyone in the chat.
Aforementioned Darkness Abyss is the first man out on track in his Williams. I mean Alpine.
It's in well, as someone would call it a multiplayer car, but you know his car looks like a bloody Colgate.
No,
Tube,
mate, do you know what? We can't make Alpine jokes anymore. Congratulations to Esteban Ocon, who has had his first ever race win last weekend.
Mate.
So big quavos on Fernando Alonso as well, holding up Lewis as long as he did. So
Wasn't that
mate,
a great battle to watch, mate?
We can't hang shit on Alpine anymore.
I don't think we can. Well, I haven't been being the Alpine captain myself, but yeah, it was great. It's always great to see a sort of an underdog get the win or get a great result. As you know, Seb was up there on the podium, unfortunately disqualified for a lack of fuel sample quantity.
Does Lewis go to P2 with that disqualification?
He does. So Lewis picks up 18 because Gasly stole the fastest lap on the final lap, which is very nice of the AlphaTauri team to do for their Red Bull partners.
Darkness Abyss is just about to start this lap here, mate. And if you don't mind, I'll run us through it.
Please do, sir.
10 minutes left to go in this session. Darkness Abyss, the first man on the track, brakes as late as he humanly can into that turn 1. Gets the car all nice and square out of there in turn 2 and turn 3. Very, very tidy first part of the lap for Darkness Abyss. Goes a little bit wider than he would have wanted there through turn 4. And it's not looking like a bad first sector at all as he goes purple with a 27.6. Is the only man to set a... Whoa, he's rounded! He is in the wall and out!
That is big! And we'll try and get a shot of it. I think, who's coming through there? I think there's a Ferrari of Dino. Yeah, hard in the wall. And he just touched that curb at the exit of turn 7 there. And it can spiral you into the wall there. It's a bit RNG. And the Darkness is already in the chat letting us know how he feels. I know how you feel, mate. But head toward the race, mate. That's where the points are scored. We've got Milligames now. He's the leader of the train. And I think Dino's in behind, but he's on an outlap. So it's actually, I think, who is it? Behind him, a Fury Strat. So Milligames setting the purple middle sector. And we'll bring up the telemetry for you. We had that off. We don't really need the tyres here because everyone's going to be running the soft compound tyre, obviously. But here we go. Here comes Milligames. What's he's going to set? The first lap time of the session. He's been competitive so far. And a 25.3.
That is an excellent banker lap. Dino instantly goes better with a 25.2.
It's still saying Dino's on an outlap for me, so that's a bit of a wonder.
Yeah,
Fury goes
into
third. Flourish is a 26.3. Crazy Kiwi at 26.3 as well. And,
I've got Nat Hammer saying outlap as well. He's just close to the time. So we are seeing a little bit of an in-game glitch, I think.
Hopefully the glitch, this is the only glitch we'll see tonight. Mr. Unverified Gamer is now coming. He's coming down the final straight towards the final corner. And let's see what he's got. He was the top of qualifying in Q2. That was a 25.8 from himself. So he's going to have to find a bit more time to have any challenge for the front by the likes of Milligames and Dino. And he does go up into third as it stands on a 25.7. So not a little bad lap there from Mr. Unverified Gamer.
Yeah,
I think Nick Magoo's out there on a lap. And he's at the back of this train. And it's still indicating outlap, but we're just going to treat everyone.
He's definitely on an outlap.
Yeah, he's definitely on an outlap.
Yeah,
Dino,
I watched him come out of the pit lane.
What's annoying about this is we can't get the sector times, mate, because it just says outlap.
Oh, that's true.
So we can't get that sort of mid-lap knowledge. I think Nahama may be pushing again, mate, in this Haas car, the number 98 Haas. He's coming down towards turn 14 now. It's about the start of that curve, which is around about 80 metres, I think. No, he's going off into the pit lane.
So, mate, I actually feel like the commentator's curse is a real thing in this year's game. All through
the everyone.
Yeah, all through the preseason, and mate, I've done it again with Darkness Abyss. Darkness, if you're listening, mate, I didn't mean it. You can report me if you like. But commentator's curse has definitely become a thing there. As Nick Magoo, we'll try and get Nick Magoo. He's just starting his first lap now. As he takes a very nice line, a little bit of a different line there to other drivers through turn 1, through turn 2 and 3. He took a very nice tight line, got the car nice and straight, DRS on straight away. Might have just outbroke himself a little bit there into turn 4. And that's purple sector 1 for him. It's a 27.5. He doesn't lose the rear end of the car as Darkness Abyss did earlier on, unfortunately. Goes a little bit deep into that right-handed corner there. He'll try and make up a little bit of time here in this downhill braking zone that's caught a lot of drivers out. Gets in there very, very nicely. Comes out of there very nicely also. DRS on once again. Brake as late as you dare into this left-hander. Don't take too much curb. You will turn your car around. We're seeing some yellow flags there as he goes up through that right-hander, up the hill, and into this long right-hander here, onto one of the back straights. This is the last back straight before the main straight. He's looking very, very nice in this lap. Is Nick Magoo. Gets into that final turn very nice indeed. And opens the car up, plants the foot, and he has done a 1:25.7 to occupy the second row of the grid.
There we go, mate. That's a very nice lap time from Nick Magoo, and that's the first run over, and Nick Magoo will easily have enough time to get back with just under 5 minutes remaining, so no need to get too extravagant on the push back to the pit lane for Nick Magoo. But there you go, Moosey. It's Dino 420 fam as it stands on pole position, with Milligames joining him on the front row, and those two look like they're in a bit of a league of their own as it stands, but we know certain drivers of the likes of Miles and... Oh, Nick Magoo almost losing it on the lap! But yeah, drivers like Miles and Nahammer, they've definitely got a bit more in the tank. Nick Magoo might have a bit as well. He's looked strong throughout this qualifying session, but it's going to be very close among them all. But it's going to be interesting to see sort of the second and third row who can claim that battle. With it being led by Gamer Unverified at the moment.
Yeah, it does look like there's sort of 2 or 3 little battles, doesn't there? There's the battle for the front row, there's the battle for the second row, and then there's the battle for the rest. And at the end of the first 3 battles, and at the end of round 1 here, it is Dino 420 fam that is the best of the lot.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's a big free-for-all here in Q3, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. We've lost Darkness Abyss early on with the crash into the left-hand side wall down in towards turn number 8 out of the SS section. But here we go. It's almost time for round 2. We've got Fury out very early, I'd say. Looking just to get out there. Maybe have 2 runs on these tyres potentially. Not quite sure. We will see.
Something that surprised me, mate, is that none of these drivers have tried to, especially when they had teammates in, none of them have tried for the tow. The tow here was worth at least a couple of tenths last night, and I cannot believe that more drivers haven't tried to do it here tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely something to... well, there's only one team that can perform it now, being AlphaTauri, but it's probably a bit too late in the session to do it. You sort of have to do it in the middle of the session, or have the cars running on a different sort of timing strategy. The length of the race is 50% above Bubblicious and Lemon Potatoes. Thank you for the follow, mate. Welcome in. I hope everyone is enjoying this action. It's about to spice right up for the final runs in Q3. Fury is going to lead it away in the Alfa Romeo, as we're now seeing some action in the pit lane. They're all starting to file out of the pit boxes for their final fast laps here, and all looking to improve to get towards the front row or pole position. But here comes Mr. Fury Strat in the Alfa Romeo. He's going to head us off, and we'll take you through it. So coming down this main straight, 8th gear, the DRS is wide open, over 325 kilometres for Mr. Fury Strat, and onto the brakes at around 100 metres into the apex. And a bit of a wide line there for Fury, but it looked like he carried some good speed and not sparking away on the curb as we had seen from some other drivers throughout the weekend so far. And down into 4, not exactly maximising the width of the track, which may cost him a little bit of time as he can't carry quite as much speed into this SS section. But he is a tenth and a half up on his time as it stands, just brushing that curb that took out Darkness Abyss. And now very nicely hooks up that apex at turn 8, and now rising up the hill and now back down into turn 10. A nice wide line, and he just ever so slightly glimpses the apex there at 10, and he's hard onto the power. The DRS open once again for the third time in the lap, and onto the brakes. Around 50 metres it is for that very fast left-hander at turn 11, and now rising up the hill at turn 12, staying very tightly to that line. And he is purple in the middle sector, 2.5 seconds up. And that's going to find him all the way up onto the second row of the grid at this rate. And can he find even more time through the 2 final corners here and get a good exit towards the final timing line of the lap? Mr. Fury Strat, here he goes. This is what he's got in Q3. And it is third, as we're saying. He goes up into third by half a tenth over Unverified Gamer, who has just opened up his lap, as well as Nick Magoo, his 2 closest rivals. And we'll get that emote-only chat for you in a minute, Darkness. But Unverified Gamer, purple sector 1, he's a 10th up. So this could be very quick from Mr. Unverified Gamer.
Yeah, absolutely. He goes purple in the first sector there. And he's looking very, very nice indeed. Currently occupying the second row of the grid. And he has improved in that first sector. Comes down the back straight here. DRS is wide open once again. It is that rear wing that opens up. It stands for drag reduction system for those playing along at home. Comes up through the back S's here, and a middle sector of a 4.3. So he's a couple of tenths up, which could see him on the front row here if he can improve a little bit more. Comes down the second to last straight into the last corner. Brake as late as you can, but do not miss that apex. Opens the car up, plants the foot, and can he improve? Yes, he can, but he only goes to P3, and the checkered flag has dropped here. Mr. Fury Strat is going again, but he isn't the next man on track.
Nick Magoo, he found a bit more time. Fury, here he comes, and he has found more time, just a 100th off the back of his rival there. Here comes Dino. He's coming out of the final corner for his flying lap. Unfortunately, we can't see how far he is up, but he could be into the 24. Yes, he does. He's in the 24s. Here comes Milligains. Can he do anything about it? No, only slightly improved. The next one is Nat Hammer in the Haas. Can he get anywhere near the front row? Nat Hammer, he's very quick, and he'll be being cheered on by the Haas HQ of Mr. Mount, as well as a TriStar Banana Hammock. Can they do anything? Yes, he can. Up into second. Can Flourish deny him? Flourish stays in 9th position, and that is qualifying. It's Dino 420 fam on pole once again, as he was last week in pre-season testing. He confirms his pace in round 1, and he takes pole by 0.3 of a second. That is a age in this division.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very good lap time there from Dino 420 fam. We'll run you through our top 10. In P10 we have Darkness Abyss with that spin. Unlucky for him. He just copped a little bit of the commentator's curse there. Flourish Expire in P9. Miles P8. Crazy Kiwi in P7. I expect big things from him in the race. Nick Magoo in P6 there. Mr. Fury Strat, he did very well there at the end. Goes P5. Gamer Unverified P4. Milligains P3. Nat Hammer P2. And, of course, Dino 420 fam in P1, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in for a cracker. And we'll be back on the formation grid as the intro is now going to roll. We'll see you in a minute, guys. Fuck, that was a good qualifying.
Do we have an intro now?
Yeah, I've had one always, but I need to make a new one because it's still the one I had from last game.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it's pretty sick.
How come we don't go through the proper F1 bullshit anymore about the track?
I haven't gotten around to doing it. I'm just busy at the moment, so.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll get that in the works, mate.
Fuck,
for
how's the
next week.
trolling?
Oh, mate. Oh, you've had a bit of love as well, though.
Oh, only because I said something to Urban.
People, keyboard warriors, mate. You see them in real life, they'll be little fucking bitches, so.
Oh dear. No, who gives a fuck?
Fuck 'em, mate.
That's it. Oh, mate, I feel like I've done nothing. You bloody fucking...
Mate,
you're running you're running the show on your own, mate.
mate, we've been in 70 viewers for like the whole fucking time.
I know, and I barely got 2 words in. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, sorry, mate. I'll give you a bit more love here. Alright, here we go.
I'm just teasing. Alright.
Alright, we're setting off on the formation lap, Moosey. Here we go. And we'll go through the grid, including the tyres. It's going to be critical come the race start. So Dino is on pole position with that hammer alongside in the Bella Assister powered Ferrari car of the Haas. Miller Gaines and Game Unverified make up the second row. And crucially, Game Unverified is on that soft compound tyre, so he could get a very rapid start here and potentially challenge for the lead, or definitely move forward at the start if he can get the power down nicely. Fury Strider, Nick Magoo are on the third row on the medium tyre. Crazy Kiwi and Miles, they are on the fourth row on the mediums as well. And Flourish Expire and Darkness Abyss round out the top 10. It is Johnny M4 and M-Stone. M-Stone, the first of the hard runners here in the Williams in 12th position. And then it is Rui, the Stig, and Brad Tay, 13th to 15th on the medium compound tyres. And then Donny in the McLaren in 16th. He's starting on the hard tyres. Blue Dog down there in 17th. He's gone for the medium compound tyre. Suicide 5, Jay Kelly and Kraken are on the 3 final positions of the grid on the hard compound tyres. And who's that? Jay Kelly's in the wall on the formation lap, mate.
Is he?
He is, but
yes,
no damage on the formation lap, luckily for Jay Kelly, so he'll just bring it back around.
I'll tell you what, mate,
try and forget about it.
It has been a fairly rapid formation lap, if I'm going to be honest.
It's been a decent pace from Dino 420 fam. Obviously, being on the mediums, you can afford to go at a bit of a faster pace, as they're not quite as volatile as the soft compound tyre. And here comes the predicted pit stop strategy. Lap 11 to 13 for the hard tyres. Maybe around the lap 9 if you're looking to make the 2-stop on from medium, soft, medium. But I'd say medium, soft would probably be the best 2-stop strategy. But expect to see the 1-stop prevalent throughout the field. But we're coming towards the end of the formation lap here as Rusted Cyborg. Thank you for the follow, my friend. We appreciate it. And it's almost time for lights out here. And Moose, it will be your call to start this race off. To kick off Season 2 of Tier 2 Oceania Series Racing League. It's all yours, mate.
Thank you, mate. And the back guys coming up onto the grid now. So for the OSRL round 2, we are about to Season 2 round 1, we are about to get underway here as the Charlie Whiting making them wait a long time. We have 1, we have 3, we have 5, and it is lights out, and away it goes. So a really good start there from a couple of drivers, none more so than the Haas there in P2 of Nat Hammer. Couple of drivers down the inside there. Will they get through there very nicely? And it looks to be fairly incident-free so far. So very good turn 1 from all the drivers. It is Dino 420 fam from Miller Gaines, from Nat Hammer, Mr. Fury Strat P4, Gamer Unverified into P5 now. Miles, a couple of spots down in P6. Darkness Abyss has had a great
who's
start.
That around? It's the Stig. The Stig, he's been spun around there at turn 4 contact. I think they were too wide through turn 4 there, and just contact on the inside for the Stig. Heartbreaking for him. But other than that, they've been very well behaved, mate, here on lap 1. I think the side-by-side between Nick Magoo and Johnny M4 here, yes. As a Gamer Unverified and Fury are swapping positions as well. Fury up the inside of turn 10, that's ballsy on lap 1. As I think there was an Aston Martin as well with a bit of contact towards the back. But a very good start for Dino 420 fam and Millie Gaines.
Yeah, absolutely it was, mate. And just going to not quite jinx it, but Gamer Unverified, it's not a good enough start from him on those soft compound tyres. He's the guys ahead of him, they've got away. He needs to use those soft compound tyres to get as close and overtake as he can while they have a pace advantage. Don't know if you've got it as well, mate, but the predicted pitch stop strategy is up on my screen again between lap 6 and 9 for the soft runner, of which there is only one out there. And this telemetry glitch I am seeing.
Here we go. Sorry, mate.
Mercedes there. Mercedes of Crazy Kiwi just goes up against Fury Strat. Fury Strat defends it very nicely. Crazy Kiwi will have a much better run out of this corner, though. Mr. Fury Strat using a squirt of his battery power, and that is a very nice defensive job done there from Fury Strat.
Yes, absolutely. As even there was almost full 2x2 there between the four drivers there, from Fury Strat to Darkness Abyss there. And they're dragging along. Who's that? I think it's the
Nick Magoo and Rui.
I think Jay Kelly is off as well, but Nick Magoo, he's going backwards, as you said. M-Stone, he's up into the top 10 after starting on the hard compound tyre. And a Gamer Unverified is right on the back of Nick
Magoo
here.
Down the inside of Rui. That is a great move, and Blue Dog's going to get it as well.
Oh, here we go. It's Miles and Darkness Abyss. And Miles already out of deployment, and Darkness goes past. And now he'll be looking to chase down Crazy Kiwi. It may have been a mistake there for Miles, which allowed the Alpine to slip past it. Here comes Flourish down the inside to the final corner. Maybe no, thinks better of it as the two in front are flashing. He could get a very good exit here out of the final corner. The DRS is enabled now. It is lap 3. And will we see more passes eventuating now? Here comes Miles back on the Alpine's rear wing. Here comes Flourish as well in the background. Johnny M4's going down the inside on M-Stone. And side by side still between the Alpha Tauri and the Alpine.
He'll get the cut back here.
Tauri takes it back, and he'll have the DRS as well. No! The Alpine has it, so he's going to sneak back through. And I think Johnny M4 is still challenging the Williams. Yes, he is. This is very close. And Nuthammer and Gamer Unverified, they're continuing their battle at the front, but Nuthammer holding on as those softs will already be degrading for the Red Bull driver of Unverified Gamer. And this is definitely the closest battle on track between these 5 drivers from Darkness Abyss down to Johnny M4. And it's just vital to keep out of trouble almost and not get damaged at this point of the race. But it's spicing up already here on lap 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone from Gamer Unverified right through to Kraken is in this little train at the moment. And ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready, because this is the Season 2 of Tier 2. This is Race 1, and it is going to be absolutely thrilling viewing all season long if these first few laps are anything to go off.
Absolutely. B-Fly, hello to you, my friend. But this train is just getting longer and longer, it seems, as the two at the front, Milliganes and Dino 420 fam, are running away from Nuthammer a little bit.
Milliganes, sorry to cut you off there, mate. Milliganes has caught 7/10 out of Dino 420 on that lap. So I don't know if Dino's had a little mistake somewhere, as Milliganes runs very, very wide, and I'm sure he's got a warning for that. But yeah, Milliganes caught 7/10 out of Dino 420 on that lap alone.
Yeah, and it's definitely spicing up. Gamer Unverified actually got past Nuthammer down the main straight there, and just showing how powerful that DRS is. But it's going to get harder from this point on for Gamer Unverified. And it's almost DRS for the entire field here, mate, which is just going to make it overtakes plenty. And it's just going to be a great viewing action. And Gamer Unverified's closed right up to the back of Milliganes now, so he's caught these guys again after they had broken away a little bit.
Yeah, those soft compound tyres, I'm not sure if he just didn't have them warmed up correctly on the not the installation lap. What's the other one? The
formation lap.
The formation lap. Thank you very much, Lee. But yeah, those soft compound tyres have really come back to him in the last lap or so, and yeah, he's well within DRS range on Milliganes now.
Yeah, here we go. We'll see if Milliganes can make a move. They're coming onto the front straight. He's about a second back from Dino, but the DRS is extremely powerful, so we're on board with the AlphaTauri, and here it comes. He's sliding to close in slowly, but just a little bit too far back to get the benefit of the strong slipstream as Gamer Unverified.
Yeah, Gamer Unverified has some serious pace at the moment, mate. He's on a massive charge.
He is charging hard as he's dropped Nat Hammer off the back of him by a second, which is almost crucial for him as he needs to break away from the pack behind, as I think Crazy Kiwi has. He's gapped 2 seconds to Darkness Abyss, and this is what the soft compound tyre runner needs to extend his gaps. Wet Chaser and Baz with the follows. We appreciate it, guys. Welcome to lap 5 here at Bahrain. It's just going to be spicy for all 29 laps as the battles continue to ensue, and less than a second separates the front 3, so we're going to stay with these guys as they come down the inner of the back straights, just behind the pit complex here in Bahrain, next to the drag strip, and Milligains just still continues to hold behind Dino 420 fam. Can he stay a bit closer than he did last time through this third sector to have a chance down the front straight?
Oh, he's around! Gamer Unverified's around!
He is!
And he's on the race.
Darkness too!
Darkness and Bess is out! Surely we see a safety car here.
We do see a safety car, mate.
Unverified has been disqualified also.
For driving backwards on the track. Gamer Unverified disqualified. Milligains, Dino 420 fam, will they come in? No, they're staying out. Nat Hammer, he's taking advantage of this one. He's sped into the pit lane though, Fury. He's coming in miles as well, so this is going to split the strategies a lot. Expect to see the hard compound runners staying out to make their strategy work. But interesting to see Dino and Milligains staying out. They were both balking each other, seeing can they get the other to blink. But they stayed out together. So that promotes Crazy Kiwi to 3rd position. Flourishing Spy up into 4th, and Johnny M4, he's in 5th. But yes, so we had the spin from Gamer Unverified, and then Darkness Abyss had a similar incident down there. And it was a good shot on the cameras there.
It'll be that corner.
It's a very tricky corner, and it looked like... I'm not sure what incident it was for Gamer Unverified, but... just early on in the race with a heavy fuel load, if you run a little bit wide there, mate, and you crank a bit too much steering lock on, it can just bring the rear round, and it's ever important to get that turn in right, but not too early, as that curb will also chuck you around. So yeah, it's definitely one of the more complicated corners on the track. And we're hearing that it's a bit of a Mario Kart move from the front drive. It's throwing down oil or tacks or bananas, Mario Kart style. Who's going to throw the blue shell up? Who's going to get the bullet bill? Will it be Miles, Mr. Fury Strat? Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But a bit of a reset here after the pack had begun to spread out a little bit. And the safety car could be in almost on this lap as the whole field's together already, mate.
Yeah. Big winners, big losers out of that first part of the race. Kraken and Blue Dog up 13 and 9 positions respectively. Mr. Fury, Strat, Nat Hammer and Miles, yes, they have pit and are at the back of the grid, so that's not quite indicative. So we won't hang them just yet.
We won't hang them yet. So Nat Hammer went to another medium tyre set, which is interesting. So he's going to have to really stretch the next 2 stints. He will get softs at the end, but he's going to have to stretch them with Fury and Miles going for the hard compound. So it's going to be a matter of them staying as close to the pack, basically, to minimise the damage of being stuck in traffic, while Dino and Milligains are going to continue now for probably another 6 to 7 laps. Maybe around lap 13 to 15 we'll see now with the safety car laps extending the medium tyre stint, as Nat Hammer's coming into the box again, mate. So not liking those medium tyres. Maybe
no. That'll be to get rid of that 5-second penalty, mate.
Yes, that's right, mate. So it's smart, and he might have put on the mediums intentionally. So now he can put the hard compound tyre on at this stop to run to the end. And no, he's going back to another medium set. So intriguing. It might have been a bit more wise to put softs on for that first lap, as it would have meant he had used 2 of the tyre compounds. Meaning he can go medium to the end.
Yeah, absolutely he can, and surely the safety car in on this lap.
Yes, I suspect so, mate. It's just a matter of Nat Hammer catching up to the front. Catching up to the safety car, but it shouldn't be an issue, as they're only in turn 9 now. And this is a PlayStation League, mate. Link to the Discord, someone will put it in there for you. And if you're on PlayStation, you can click that link and get involved.
Yeah, I think Gamer Unverified is very stiff to be disqualified there. He did try and turn himself around, but Darkness Abyss went around as well, and he just hesitated and let Darkness Abyss come around, so there wasn't a bigger incident. And the game actually pinched him very, very quickly. And yeah, I think Gamer Unverified very, very stiff to be disqualified.
Yeah, definitely. But it's going to be interesting. So the safety car, the lights are off. It is in this lap. And who's that? Jake Kelly's had a bit of an incident under the safety car. No visible damage, but a spin of some sorts, or an incident of some sorts.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting.
So we will get
it's now
started.
Dino's race. A lot of weaving here as they're coming down to the final corner. When does he go? He puts it down out of the final corner. He goes in. Milligains is there right with him.
Yeah, Milligains is going to get him here. Milligains
yes,
all over the back of that Ferrari. Who gets more ballsy under braking? Milligains with the inside line, and they give each other plenty of room. And Dino 420 fam comes back at Milligains, and that is excellent driving between those two drivers. And they've
yes, it is crazy. Kiwi looking to get involved potentially at the back, but that was great, respectful driving. No quarter given, but fair and hard, and that's what we like to see. As not too many position changes going on. Suicide 5 and Mr. Fury Strata debating their positions down towards the back. Fury taking that position. Stig's round.
Someone's gone around.
Stig is round. Stig's round and out at turn 4, as we saw in qualifying for the Haas of, who was it? It was Kraken. So, there you go. Dino 420 fam, he's got the two drivers for company right up the back of his rear wing. Milligains is riding right with him, as we've seen for the first 8 laps of this race.
Johnny M4 going very slowly.
Maybe running a little bit deep down at turn number 10, allowing M-Stone and Kraken pass in the Williams and the Haas cars. But no damage done, just a bit of an incident as he looks to make up for it now, closing back in on M-Stone and Kraken. But it is one hell of a fight here throughout the field. And we'll go back towards the front maybe to see Milligains get a run maybe. But here comes Johnny forward to the final corner. Can he do it at the final corner? No. So we'll go back to Milligains. Can he get it done this time down the main straight? Or maybe just wait for the DRS next lap?
Yeah, he's definitely pushing and looking to have a little look at Dino 420 fam, but he is just a little bit too far back. Does close up on him though, under braking, so can Milligains yet better drive out of turn 2? He does get a very nice exit. Doesn't have DRS.
Oh, here we go!
Yet. Will he launch down the inside? Yes, he will. Yes, and that is... This is side-by-side action. And no quarter being given between any driver, but Milligains ends up on top and takes the lead in this race.
Yes, he does, mate. Hard but fair, but that was one hell of a move from Milligains. And with the inside line at turn 6, you just have to give up on the outside. You can't go around the outside there. It's almost suicide for the two drivers as the front three continue to try and push away from Flourish Expire. But with the DRS coming active next lap, they need to do it quickly to break away from him. But Kraken struggling on that hard compound to stay with them. And the front four will run away from them initially with the tyre advantage of the mediums.
Yeah, absolutely. These three at the front, they've started to drop Flourish Expire just a little bit as well. Flourish still in the DRS zone, as we see Johnny M4 getting a penalty for multiple warnings. But yeah, Flourish Expire, he's just dropping a tenth or so in all of those sectors. So by no means falling back rapidly, but yeah, he's definitely starting to lose the back of the pack of these front three. As Crazy Kiwi comes right on the back of Dino 420 fan, but a little mistake there for Milligains. A little mistake there by Milligains. Milligains defends that inside line.
Can he get the switch back? No, he elects to challenge around the outside as he was last lap. And Milligains holds onto it for the time being. And the front three separated by half a second, mate. They are nose to tail here through the S's. And who's going to blink first? Who's going to make a mistake? Or who's going to capitalise on an incident?
Kiwi has got a great drive out of that turn. Kiwi, I thought he was going to have a crack at Dino 420 into that downhill braking zone, but he didn't. He got a really good drive off that right-hand corner though.
Look at this behind M-Stone. Johnny M4's right up behind. So is Blue Dog. So is Nick Magoo. And down the inside goes Johnny M4. They're side by side. They're rubbing wheels as they rise up towards turn 12. And Johnny M4 takes it. He got the better exit out of turn 11.
Dino 420 fam with a huge run here on Miller Gaines. Will he launch one up the inside? No, he won't, but he is so close. This move has to get done under DRS. Miller Gaines trying to break the toe. Absolutely nothing doing, and that is going to... Whoa! Very aggressive defending there from Miller Gaines, but that is job done by Dino 420.
Here comes Crazy Kiwi, but he can't quite get close enough. But yes, these two switching again. And it's almost, you don't want to be leading this train. You sort of want to be in second, mate, to control the pace behind.
Yeah, that's exactly right,
It might also be the case of, as we see in the junior categories, if you don't attack, you're going to go backwards.
Yeah, that's exactly it, mate. You've hit the nail on the head there. But the DRS is just so powerful around this circuit that it's just absolutely killing whoever's in front.
So Flourish is back on this train. Kraken's still about 1.5 seconds off them. But as they continue to battle, Kraken may be able to close in as they will be losing time to the drivers behind. But Kraken's got a nice little gap to M-Stone back, who's now got Johnny M4 for company once again. So Johnny M4 made the move down at turn 11, but down the front straight, M-Stone was able to get back in front of the Red Bull car. But at the front, it's heating up once again. We're coming through the third sector, so it will be Milligain's turn for the DRS. We'll see if these two continue to fight hard, but it might also be just worth staying behind for a lap to save up your battery a little bit. They're running pretty similar. They're not exactly too high on the battery count.
I think Milligain's got a little bit twitchy there. So Dino 420 fan and Milligain's coming into the pits. Crazy Kiwi, what can he do now with a bit of fresh air in front of him? He will have to get a move on because, as we mentioned in the qualifying session, the undercut is so powerful here.
Yes, absolutely. This is where you've got to burn up your battery. Maximum attack. He's got Flourish pushing right behind him as well. So now Kiwi is the one who's vulnerable without the DRS. But yes, the undercut is powerful. So these two need to get a move on if they want to stay with the two in front after the pit stops. It is crucial for them to be in the DRS. And as someone just put in the chat, Fury's in a very good position, mate. So Milligains and Dino 420 fam have come out probably about 11, 12, 13 seconds behind Fury, who's potentially completed his pit stop strategy for the race on that hard compound tyre.
Yeah, Dino 420 fam and Milligains, they've both come out into a heap of clean air as well. So
here comes Flourish to cut you off, mate, but Flourish takes the lead into turn 11 down the back straight. So he will try to hold on, but he's got a big snap there, and it allows Kiwi back on the exit. He had a very big snap.
Kraken.
Now Kraken's right on the back of him. Obviously, these two are going to be into the... Yes, these two will potentially be in the pit lane this lap to cover off the undercut. Or not to cover off, but to try and stay with those two who have got a mile of clean air to push into. And will we see them in the pit lane? Kiwi's coming in, as is Flourish. So Kraken, he's going to take over the lead of this race, and he enjoys what is about a 2.5 second lead as Kiwi sped into the pit lane, mate.
That's it's absolutely not.
All three wide in the background. Rui, M-Stone, Johnny M4 down into turn 1. M-Stone just staying ahead. And Johnny M4 actually lost out on that straight, I think 2 positions, and now Blue Dog might have him with the run out of turn 3 down towards turn 4. And we'll see where Crazy Kiwi and Flourish come out. They're going to be right on the bubble of 1 second. I don't think they're going to get it with those cold tyres out of the pit lane. So the undercut has worked for Dino and Milligains, and they are fighting it out. Down to turn 4, they're continuing the battle. But we'll go back towards the front with Johnny M4, Rui and Blue Dog. Brad Tay and Fury Strata all involved in this train.
Yeah, too right they are, and it's M-Stone. M-Stone is the cork in the bottle here. Currently running P2. Blue Dog gets very twitchy there as he tries to apply the power. Rui and Johnny M4, they've both got a penalty, so that would drop them right behind this train at the moment, and probably down to about 9th. So those two really have to get a move on with whatever they're doing here. But yeah, as I mentioned, M-Stone is definitely the cork in the bottle here, as Johnny M4 is all over the back of Rui there. Rui trying to break the toe, but Johnny M4 having none of it. So
Yeah,
just getting a
absolutely,
little...
mate.
Oh, he's very twitchy.
Wide goes
Rui. Rui off the
Yes,
track.
wide. And here
Johnny
we go,
and
more
Four
piling
comes
into the pit lane.
pits.
Fury's going to be wheeling, like he's going to be wishing that they come into the pit lane so he can be released. He's being held up now at this point of the race, and he needs to get every bit of advantage over Dino 420 fam and Milligains to try and make those older hard compound tyres last towards the end of the race, as they will be faster come the end of the race. So he needs to build as big of a gap, but he's being held up severely by this train, which is headed by M Stone. And he's lost 2 of the runners in his train, which will help him a little bit. And you expect to see Brad Tay and Rui come in this lap potentially.
Yeah, absolutely.
Milligains crucially picks up a time penalty for track warnings.
Whoa, that is huge. That is a massive penalty at a time like this in this race. Mr. Fury Strat on 7-lap-old hard compound tyres, so he has a lot of life left in those hard compound tyres, so he will be looking for all of these guys to get out of his way as quickly as possible, none of which have boxed yet. And they are all on the medium. No, they're not. So Kraken and M-Stone, they're on 13-lap-old hard compound tyres, sorry. So
yes, that's right. So they've probably got 3 to 4 laps to run on their tyre stint to get the mediums on for the end. But Rui and M-Stone going at it. Rui on the medium compound tyre. His pit strategy, it is coming up. Will he box this lap? Or will he stay out? He is coming into the pit lane. Does Brad Tay follow him in? No. So Fury will be frustrated once again, mate. He's still stuck behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. Fury, it just looked like he was just trying to get himself a little bit of clean air there. So maybe everything just a little bit hot for
here
Mr.
we go.
Fury
Dino and
Strat.
Milligains down the front straight. Once again, these two go side by side. It's the inside line for Milligains, and he takes the position this time. Dino not fighting him too hard on this occasion. And just with that 3-second penalty, he's got a bit more security to Dino, but he's just got to be careful not to pick up any warnings of his own, as he looks at the outside line, but just staying in behind for the time being at turn number 4.
Brad Tay run a little bit wide there. Fury Strat will be all over the back of him in the DRS zone. So little mistake there from Brad Tay.
The problem for Fury is all the drivers in front of him have had DRS behind M-Stone, which really, it makes it extremely difficult to pass. And he's on a harder tyre, so he doesn't get the traction out of the corners as well. So just frustration probably for Fury as it stands. The lead back to Dino 420 fam as it stands. He has a 10-second gap between himself and the Ferrari, as they will continue to chase down in the remaining 14 laps here. So we're half distance now, and Brad Tay still on the mediums, Kraken from the lead. Off the hard compound tyres coming already, mate.
M-Stone in, Brad Tay will stay out, but Mr. Fury Strat will have a great speed boost advantage. He got a little bit of the toe, and that is job done, mate, on Brad Tay. So Mr. Fury Strat now inherits the lead of this race, and he will try and put as much distance between himself and Dino 420 fam, who is the next person technically on the track. And mate, that was a very good move there from Mr. Fury Strat.
Actually, mate, Miles is on the same strategy as Fury Strat in the AlphaTauri.
Ah.
So he's up. He pitted under the safety car as well, remember, and he's right up behind Donny, who's still running those 15-lap-old hards from the start of the race. So Miles is still, he's still, 6 seconds ahead of his teammate Milligains. But he will be, who's that round? Is it Flourish? It is!
It is Flourish.
Flourish is off and in the gravel there at turn 7, mate.
Miles got past Donny, mate, as well, so move made for the podium positions.
That is heartbreak for Flourish. He was running quite a nice little race up there in the points. Reminder that points are awarded down to 15. Fastest lap is awarded to anyone, the 1 point if you finish the race. So there's always a reason to stay in this race. Kraken is out on the medium compound tyre, and he's right up Crazy Kiwi rear wing, and he's definitely going to be one to watch. He's only 2 seconds off the back of Dino, so he could be one to watch in the end of the remaining 13 laps in this race.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's worth mentioning Brad Tay has stayed out again, so 16 laps now on that medium compound tyre. He is having an absolute great effort getting those medium compound tyres to hang on.
Oh, there goes Kraken. He's made the pass. Dino and Milligane's making more contact. Down at turn number 1, these two are fighting very hard. And lads, this is going to let Kraken close in even more. And we're touching.
Oh! What happened there?
A big squeeze from Dino as they were pushing each other down the straight there. And they're still side by side. And Milligane's holding it around the outside. And no love lost between these two, as Kraken is now right on the back, and he's got the medium tyre advantage.
Mate, that was not a squeeze. That was a push. As Kraken right on the rear wing of Dino 420 now as well. So I don't know if Dino's got a little bit of damage, but he's definitely not looking as pacey as he once was. Kraken.
I think it's just all the battling.
Mate, Kraken is looking very, very rapid. He's on a brand new...
between Milliganes and Dino is really just holding them up, and it's allowed Kraken to close in 2 seconds in a lap.
Absolutely.
And now with the medium tyre, he's just got to find his way past. He's just got to try and find a way past to get past Dino, and then the pass on Milliganes will be simple, you'd expect, but they could almost be 3 wide down here at turn 1. So here we go. Let's watch it. They're both going to have the DRS, the slipstream off Milliganes. So, Kraken's got great overspeed on Dino. What have they got on the likes of Milliganes? They are 3 wide going down towards turn number 1.
3 wide,
and who's going to make it? Kraken on the inside. Dino around the outside. Milliganes
on.
And now can Kraken get the job done into turn 4? Yes, he can on the inside of Dino 420 fam. Dino trying to hang around the outside. Kraken gives him the space to respect. But he now has the inside line to 6. And Dino's still fighting very hard. Could there be contact between the two? And now they're still fighting it very hard around the outside, Dino. But Kraken is going to take the position here. So Kraken is up into 5th, and now will look to set off after Fury Strat, who's about 8 to 9 seconds down the road. And a reminder to get your driver of the day vote in, guys. With 11 laps to go here at Bahrain. And the racing certainly isn't over. Miles is right on the back of Brad Tay, who will be pitting very soon for a nice sticky set of soft compound tyres, I'd suspect, in that Mercedes.
Yeah, Kraken is on an absolute great strategy here. He's on pretty much brand new medium compound tyres. Will definitely go to the end of the race. And he's going to be very, very rapid indeed. It's just going to be about whether Dino 420... has the DRS. He will have DRS, but how powerful will it be? As we do see Brad Tay get overtaken there by Miles.
Here comes Dino! Not quite close enough into turn 1, and Kraken just needs to break away, mate. Kraken, a reminder, he started last. He started 20th. And he's about 10 seconds off the lead of Fury Strat, so he's got a mammoth effort to chase down Fury, but will those hard tyres see an end of their life in the final few laps that may allow Kraken to close in? But he's got to get a move on. Donny and Brad Tay, you'd expect to see them in the next 2 laps or so for soft compound tyres. So Miles is in 2nd and Kraken a net 3rd position, but he's got close company all the way back to Nick Magoo. They are in a DRS train, the 5 drivers who are contesting the final spot on the podium as it stands.
Yeah, too right, mate. And I'm surely we have to see Brad Tay there. Surely we have to see him either this lap or next. Those tyres would be screaming right now.
They would have to be close to a puncture. Definitely over the threshold for a puncture, you'd suspect. Being run 18 laps, 2 laps under the safety car, which would help. So maybe 17 laps. He did not qualify on these tyres, but still a mammoth effort. And yes, he does peel off. Will Donny follow him in? No, 1 more lap at least for Donny. So that's going to promote Kraken up into 4th place as he sets off after Donny. And what is the lead for Fury Strat as it stands? It is 8 seconds. Will he be able to hold on? He needs almost a second a lap, does Kraken. That'll be a mammoth effort. So Fury in very strong position as it stands.
Yeah, Fury has pulled an absolute masterclass of a strategy if it does work for him. Fury Strat and Miles, they have both pit in this race, currently running a net P1, P2. They will not be as quick as someone's off, mate.
Jay Kelly off! Jay Kelly's off and in the wall up the top, and it's a safety car!
So
Safety car, and Brad Tay is going to be heartbroken after that pit stop 1 lap too early. And that has almost ruined his race strategy. Now we'd expect to see, well, Fury will be shattered as well, mate, who is enjoying that 10-second lead. But everyone you'd expect to see in for the soft compound tyre, maybe the mediums, if they have a brand new set. It's going to be very even throughout the stint. The softs will have the advantage at the restart. The mediums will come into their own at the end. It's definitely it's going to be an interesting choice, but we'll see who's going to be in. Fury and Miles will definitely be coming out in first position. Will Kraken elect to stay out on those mediums? I'm not sure. It will be a very interesting decision. But yes, Jay Kelly has almost done his teammate in that he's almost ruined a certain win for Fury. But here he comes into the pit lane. Miles coming in. I'll tell you who this has worked out for beautifully. Donny up in third position after starting 16th on that hard tyre. And Kraken does stay out. So does Dino. Dino on the 8-lap old hards. That is very interesting. And that Hammer gets a 5-second penalty for contact at some point with Johnny M4. So it is soft tyres for Fury, Miles, Donny, Miller Gaines, Nick Magoo, Crazy Kiwi. Who else is in for soft tyres? Nat Hammer, I suspect, as well. Yes. Johnny M4's got a new front wing and some soft tyres. Rui, they're double stacking down at Aston Martin. Flourish kicks up for Penn for speeding into the pit lane. That's almost a nightmare when you come into the pit lane last. That's not what you want to be doing. So soft tyres for everyone almost. Suicide 5 elected to stay out on the medium tyres. So did Blue Dog on the hards. So I really think that Dino is really going to struggle, and Kraken as well. Yeah, Kraken might be okay.
From one Ferrari driver to another, mate, I think he's made a little bit of a mistake here, Dino 420 fam. I think, yes, he's got excellent pace in that car, but I personally think that he probably should have come in. Maybe he doesn't have a new set to put on, mate.
Yeah, well, Brad Tay's not done too badly out of this. He's come up into 7th. But what Kraken needs is he needs Dino to hold on for as long as possible, at least into turn 1, so we can get away at least for the first lap from Mr. Fury's trap. But if Fury gets an exit off the final corner and Dino struggles, he's going to have Kraken right for company. And he might not even need to wait for the DRS. He might be able to break away from Kraken before the DRS is activated. And that's what's going to be crucial for Fury. He needs to break the DRS early. With the soft tyres, they might run out towards the end of the 28th and 29th lap. And the safety car will definitely be going for one more lap. So it's going to be a 7-lap sprint to the flag at the end of lap 22. We will resume this one. So one more lap under the safety car. We'll go through the order. It is Kraken in the Haas, who started P20. Dino 420 fam is in second. Fury. And who's that coming to pit lane? Blue Dog. Electing that the hard compound is not going to do him any favours. So Fury, Miles, Donny, Brad Tay, Miller Gaines, Suicide 5, Nick Magoo, Crazy Kiwi, Nat Hammer, Rui, M Stone, Johnny M4, Float Expire, and the Blue Dog. That is your order. The biggest winners over the 22 laps has got to be Kraken and Johnny, as well as Suicide 5, your losers. Obviously those who have crashed out, as well as Nat Hammer, Float Expire. They are your two biggest losers.
Yeah, mate, you beat me by a bees. You know what? There on the big winners and the big losers. Kraken is absolutely well. If he doesn't win the driver of the day, it's been rigged because he's currently up 19 positions.
You can't move any more positions unless you go backwards 19.
That's exactly correct. So Blue Dog making a little bit of a strategic mistake as he finds himself at the back of the pack now after not pitting as soon as that safety car came out.
That's it. So as it stands, one driver won't score points, the remaining 15th will. And we'll have a look at the fastest lap. I expect that to be easily beaten come the amount of soft tyres we've got on now. It's currently with Nick Magoo at a 28.5, but I would expect to see that smashed, especially in the first few laps after the safety car, as these soft runners are going to be putting in some very quick lap times to try and make the moves up the grid. But with so many on the new tyres, it may be difficult. We only have 3 drivers who stayed out. Suicide 5, Dino and Kraken. And that's it, mate. The lights are off on the red Mercedes safety car. And the Kraken now controls the pace of the field. The weaving, the synchronized weaving here between the front three. It is going on. And when does Kraken go? Does he go out of the final corner? Does he wait? It's going to be one hell of a thing to watch. And I hope everyone in the chat is excited for these final 7 laps. And Kraken doesn't quite go out of the final corner, so he waits. He's going to go as late as possible. He goes!
Oh, he's
he
gone!
Jumps. Who goes with him? He's caught him out. He's definitely caught Fury and Dino off.
Dino napping at least.
Dino went alright, but Fury definitely got caught napping, which is very good for Kraken, as it means Fury is not going to be right onto the back of him initially. So the position's not really changing at the front. Miles is at 4th. Donnie's dropped back 1 position. There's a yellow flag out there.
There is a blue car around.
5.
Suicide 5 is around.
Side by side between Milligates and Donnie down into turn 4. On the inside is the McLaren, around the outside. He does it. Milligates moves up around Donnie, so both the AlphaTauris move past Donnie. That is one hell of a move from him. Who else is making moves? Not too many. Look at Fury. He's right on the back of Dino. He needs to make this move ASAP.
Will Team Orders come into play here at AlphaTauri? Because Milliganes is carrying that 3-second penalty that is going to see him drop pretty much to the back of the field if the checkered flag was to drop right now. Big problems there at AlphaTauri.
I don't think we're going to see Team Orders. The field is far too close to be doing Team Orders as it stands. The move will have to be made on pure pace. And Fury is getting very impatient behind Dino. Can he get the exit out of turn 13? Not quite. Dino is really burning up that ERS to stay in front, but that might hurt him out of the final corner. So Fury onto the power earlier than Dino for sure. Yeah. Dino will not be enjoying the same slipstream that Fury will be getting right tucked up behind. But Dino looks like he has decent straight line speed, but Fury will be able to break a significant amount later with that soft compound tyre. So Dino will try and hold on around the outside, but that's going to be a very tall order, but he keeps his nose in. Dino has kept his nerve, held it in.
And Miles coming through. Miles might get Dino 420 fam as well, and does Milligates get him as well?
Oh, Milligates, look at this! Milligates get them both! So Dino goes back 3 positions, and now it's a 4-way fight. But Kraken is really going to struggle to keep these guys behind with their soft compound tyres. Milliganes is carrying that penalty crucially. So he's really going to have to get a move on if he wants to challenge for the podium. And Dino would expect to see him fall backwards now with that hard compound tyre just slowing him down.
Yeah, absolutely. Kraken still doing an excellent job out front. 7-lap old medium tyres versus all the brand spanking new soft compound tyres. We've seen Dino 420 fam get swamped by a few of these soft compound runners. Mr. Fury Strat, he's having a great race in his own right. He's 4 tenths behind Kraken. Will he try and make a move down the main straight? He will give it absolutely everything he's got as the ERS is being deployed. Kraken not using his ERS, but he is trying to break that toe. And it has proved to work a little bit as Mr. Fury Strat not quite close enough to make a move there into turn 1. But those soft compound tyres, they'll have so much better drive off turn 2 and 3.
Milliganes is very close to Fury here, and they're both closing in on Kraken, so to the inside goes Fury, late defense from Kraken, and very deep. Here comes Milliganes again, as he did last lap. He sneaks past 2 cars down there at turn 4, side by side for Kraken, and Fury moves up into second place, but no, Kraken fights back and holds on, and now can Milliganes break away at all, and there's contact! A little tap from Fury, and Kraken is doing Milliganes favours here. Fury really needs to get past him as soon as possible. The DRS is enabled for him now, and he will have that straight line advantage.
Dino 420
and Miles is out! Miles is out there on the left-hand side, and the full safety car! The full safety car has been deployed, mate! And this is the last lap that the safety car can be deployed on. So very interesting call there from the race director, Michael Massey, throwing a big spanner in the works. So Milliganes have managed to slip past but that safety car is not what he needed.
Milligains. This is
definitely going to hurt Milligains. Milligains is almost only going to have 2 laps to sprint away now at the end of the safety car. Will Dino stay out? You'd suspect so. He's done it so far. He needs to stay out, and he does. This is one hell of a race, and it's going to be now a 2 or 3 lap sprint to the end.
M Stone into the pits.
M Stone potentially with damage, as well as Suicide 5. He'll be coming in as well. So it's all up for grabs with penalties. We'll go over the penalties quickly. It is 3 seconds for Milligains, 3 seconds for Johnny M4, 3 seconds for Rui, and 5 seconds for Flourish Expire. And a very clean race in terms of penalties from the lads. But in an environment like this, when we get a very late safety car, it costs you. And we have got a lot of people in the chat. Hello to everyone. We are glad to have you here, all 80 of you. It's incredible to say that, to see that. We appreciate the support so much, and you've tuned in for one hell of a race here, Moose.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's worth mentioning, in the pit stops just then that took place, M Stone getting a new front wing, so did he have contact with Miles? But Suicide 5, he had no repair done at all, mate. He just came in for a brand new set of soft compound tyres.
I think he just had a spin, mate, on that first lap from the safety car. But it's a bit of a no-brainer there when you're in last place already to get the soft tyres on. You might as well to give yourself a chance of making up at least 1 or 2 positions at the safety car restart, as you will have the tyre advantage slightly on those who pitted at the previous safety car 4 or 5 laps to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I would expect the safety car to maybe come in this lap.
It might come in. It'll be a late call.
It will be a very late call.
We'll watch with interest. I'd actually like to see it in this lap, as it will give us a little bit of extra racing, but the lights are still on.
Too late to call it now, so we will go around once again. So guys like Milligains up the top there with that penalty, that's just going to hinder him a little bit, as Rui is out.
Rui out in the wall, under the safety car. Wow, so we're down to 14 now, so everyone will be scoring points. A reminder that the top 15 score points, fastest lap is available to anyone on the grid if they finish. So it's going to be a 2-lap sprint here to the flag, similar to what we had in Baku in real life, and we knew how we saw how entertaining that format of racing can be. Will we see someone leave the Magicon to turn number 1, going very deep and potentially causing a little bit of chaos? You know a little bit about that, Moose. Just giving you a bit of shit, mate. But it's going to be one hell of a thing to watch. Will it be Milligains? Will it be Kraken? Will it be Fury? Will it be Dino? Will it be Donny? Will it be Kiwi? Will it be Brad Tate? Who knows, mate? It's going to be something that I'm going to be biting my nails over, but I can't because I've got to call it as well as you, mate. So maybe after the race when I watch it back, I'll go back and bite my nails. Nail-biting stuff here. Whew.
Breathe, mate. Breathe.
I've had no water for this whole race. I can just feel the throat getting very dry. But
mate, I've currently got a can of beverage in front of me, so I'm very lubricated to say the least.
I love that from yourself, mate. We had a Lurkmaster 3000 AU with a follow just a couple of minutes ago, so thank you, mate. We appreciate that one. And hope you're going well, Cap. There's no redeem neck of beer on this channel, mate. That's reserved for my Twitch. And you can redeem that tomorrow night. I'll be live for Tier 1. A reminder, 7:30 PM Australian Eastern, Tier 1 for the OSRL will be live. This is Tier 2. There's 2 laps to go, and the safety car will be in. The lights are off. And here we go, 2 laps to go. Maxi Shakri, Ipan and Roxy follows. Thank you, guys. Welcome. And we're going to turn away from the chat, from the alerts. And we also had Dr. Scharfenhauser with a follow. That's it. It's now 2 laps. It's all about the racing now. When does Milligains go? Moosey, take us away for the restart call.
Yeah, will do, mate. It will be Milligains, and it looks like he's gone immediately out of that last corner. He's dropped Kraken by 5 tenths, 4 tenths. Kraken with a great tow here. We have a yellow flag, it looked like, but it's gone away just as quickly as it came out. So Kraken with amazing speed, which is very, very surprising to me. as he's on those harder tyres. OSRL Donny going backwards, as is Brad Tay. So Nat Hammer and Crazy Kiwi up a couple of positions there. M Stone, he's in for, he's got some brand new boots on as well, and he gets past Flourish Expire. So Milligane's out front from Kraken. Mr. Fury Strat P3, Dino 420 fan in P4, Crazy Kiwi P5. They are your top 5 at the moment. Milligane's leading the race at the moment, does have a 3-second penalty.
Can Kraken hold on? That is the question. He's got a lap and a half to go. Can he hold the Alfa Romeo Fury Strat, who will still, he'll be beginning to feel the tyre wear, but so will Kraken. Those mediums are not in the best of shape. And it is all out attack. The ERS will be pushed to the max with only 2 laps under green flag racing. They can deploy everything, full beams. The engines are turned up. What can they show? Who's got the most grip? Who's got the exit? Where will Milliganes end up with that 3-second penalty at the moment? He'll be around P5. Who's that? Kiwi's out! Kiwi's out down there at turn 12. He's out in the wall as we saw Darkness Abyss earlier at turn 12. And Kraken is being closed in on by Fury Strat. And now out of the final corner.
On Kraken.
Big weave to break the toe. We've seen such great straight line speed though from Kraken.
Yeah,
he's just got such a quick setup in a straight line, and that's hampering Fury without the DRS. He's just not able to close up quite close enough, and he's going to have to do this in a braking zone or throughout a corner. So can we do it? One of his last chances down into turn number 4. Is he close enough? Does he send one to the inside? Kraken covers him up around the outside. Contact, big contact. And the front wing missing for Mr. Fury Strat. But he's not going to be able to do it.
Mate, Kraken has done enough. Kraken is absolutely look like he's going to pull off the Cinderella story here, mate. He is still within 1.6 seconds of Milliganes in P1 with that 3-second penalty. Has he gone and done a Ricky Bobby? Has he gone from last to first, mate? It is half a lap to go. 1.7 seconds is the lead at the moment.
This is entertaining stuff at best. Fury looked to the outside line, forced his hand, but couldn't quite get it done. Now he needs to try and hold on to third position. Dino is he's challenging him hard. He's almost in the back of Fury. Through turn 12 there, he's pushing him. Fury has got no speed with that broken front wing. Now down towards the final corner of 14 and 15. Fury, can he hold on to third position, or can Dino do it around the outside? It's going to be very close. Milliganes is going to take the checkered flag first, but Kraken is going to win here in Bahrain. Dino has come around, and he takes third. Fury is fourth. Nat Hammer fifth. M Stone is sixth. Brad Tay is in seventh. Nick Magoo eighth. And we'll get the rest of it, but I am out of breath, Rusi. Oh. Wow, the Cinderella story, as you called it, for Kraken from P20 on the grid, wins here in Bahrain. What a performance. And if he is not your driver of the day vote, I do not know who is. Get your votes in. The form is there. Enter your results. And we'll have an interview with your driver of the day as well as your top 3. But congratulations to Kraken. What a performance.
Yeah, absolutely. The Aston Martin there, the Alfa Romeo driver there at the end, very unlucky losing his wing there. And it was just enough from of a defensive move there from Kraken that he made no mistake at all. And Dino 420 fam ended up capitalising as well. It's Mr. Fury Strat. Was that aforementioned Alfa Romeo driver. So we'll run you through the 20 at the moment. So Kraken has done it from last to first, P1. If he's not your driver of the day, I suggest you check your medication. P2 there for Milliganes. So he hangs on for P2. Dino 420 fan, P3. Mr. Fury Strat hangs on to P4 there at the death. Nat Hammer P5, M Stone P6, Brad Tay P7, Nick Magoo P8, Blue Dog P9, Suicide 5 in P10, Johnny M4 there in P11, Flourish Expire P12, P13 there for Donny. Crazy Kiwi is still classified, although he didn't finish in P14. And the drivers that are not classified were as follows there, mate.
Yes, mate. What a race. That was borderline insanity there. That last 2 laps was one hell of a battle, and Fury potentially just overdoing it there, trying to force the issue. Not only cost him any chance at the win, it cost him 3rd position to Dino 420 fan, but what cost him most was that safety car with around 10 laps to go. He was enjoying a very comfortable lead out in front, and that strategy that he was on was working out perfectly, but that's just the way the car, it falls sometimes. You can't always luck it out, but a big congratulations to Kraken. What a performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, mate. And it's it just shows that if you keep it clean and you race hard, that the rewards will come. And that's not more prevalent than tonight, where he's held on to the back of Milligan's there, I'm pretty sure it was, and Milligan's with that penalty at the end, just for, it wasn't even a bad penalty. It was just something as simple as too many warnings. Taking liberties with the corners is what's cost him a race win here tonight.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Milligan's will be a bit of head in his hands here. What could have been. It was an excellent performance from him after being disadvantaged by that strategy he was on. But all props, all kudos to Kraken. What a performance! You can't be mad at that. As we're just going to all wait Kraken to join us in the commentary box. Here he comes. And a final reminder to get your votes in for Driver of the Day. It is extremely close between 2 of the drivers. So we'll give you guys a few more minutes to sort that out. But now we'll go to our 3rd place driver, Dino 420 fam. Tough luck out there today, mate, but you salvaged a decent result after being undone by a safety car there.
Yeah, no, it was a bit unlucky on my part. I'd made the wrong call not to go in with everyone else going in, but I was lucky enough to hold on.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an excellent qualifying and an excellent start to the race. You and Milliganes were having one hell of a battle. You almost pushed each other into the wall at one point, coming down the straight. It was fascinating to watch. Man, probably a bit more nervous for yourself in the cockpit, but yeah, tell us about it, mate.
Man, as soon as I felt that contact, I shit myself and then just pulled to the right to just get away from it as soon as I could. Because I knew with that bit of contact, we could have just both ended in the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very close to a sort of race-ending situation for yourselves. But yeah, you were disadvantaged. Fury was out in front by a long ways. But that safety car brought you guys back in contention. You interestingly stayed out on the hard compound tyre, and you were probably saved a little bit by that final safety car. And then Fury making a bit of a mistake with Kraken allowed you to slip back into the podium places. So not too bad of a race considering all the factors. So congratulations on P3, mate.
Cheers. Looking forward to next week.
Absolutely. We're expecting big things from you for the season, mate.
Thanks, more pressure. Cheers.
I'm sure you can handle it, mate. I'm sure you can handle it.
Someone's got to carry the Ferrari team, mate.
And Milliganes, I was just saying, you might have your hand in your heads, mate. You might be a little bit frustrated that one. Tell us about it.
Battling too early with Dino led to a bit of complications in the early race. Getting those penalties early, sticking through it. I thought to myself, I might have this after the first safety car reset. That is. That second one though really nailed it home that I wouldn't be able to get out of that 3-second gap there. But I'm glad it was Kraken with that record-breaking drive there, 20-1. What a masterclass! Yeah,
it was definitely a performance to take note of. It was a great performance from him, but a great performance from yourself, and you and Dino provided us entertainment throughout the whole 29 laps. And at the end of that second to last safety car, you made 2 excellent moves, 2 laps in a row down there at turn 4, slipping past I think 4 cars in 2 laps there. It was one hell of a thing to watch.
Mate, I just saw those mistakes there, and I capitalised, and I wouldn't let it up. I knew I had to get up in the front of the pack if I wanted to stand any chance at a podium, so I just put it out there.
Yeah, so you fought hard, and that last safety car definitely cost you any chance at running away with it. But again, congratulations, and we'll see you back on track next week for another chance at a strong points haul. But you've kicked the season off in good fashion, mate.
Yeah, that's the last time I lose on penalties, boys.
Well, there you hear it first. He will not be losing on penalties again. We'll hold you to that, mate.
It's famous last words there.
I've got you on tape.
That's exactly right.
I'll hold that in. I'll hold that. That's evidence in court now, mate.
Cheers, boys.
You're welcome. And finally, Kraken. What a performance, mate.
It's not Kraken anymore, mate. It is Ricky Bobby.
Someone's the girlfriend, the partner, the wife in the background. Someone's excited for ya.
Mate, the thing that's proved the most beneficial to you at the end of the race here is your defensive move on Mr. Fury Strat. It was a very, very good defensive move. You placed the car in exactly the right position. Mate, ultimately that's what's won you this race. Mr. Fury Strat on the faster tyre, he clearly had more pace, but the defensive move was made to perfection, and that is what's won you this race, mate.
Oh, luckily for yourself, you didn't end your race, and you came out with not just a podium, the victory, mate. So, an excellent way to kick off the season, mate. And similar to last night, I've got even more news for the race winner. You are also driver of the day, and if you weren't, I would be extremely mad, because up 19 positions, last to first, after what was a nightmare in qualifying for yourselves. Yeah, incredible, mate. I'm lost for words. I'm out of breath. My throat is dry. Go and have a drink, mate, on my behalf. Yes, congratulations. And I expect this every week from you now. You've set a standard that you're going to have to match. Hey, man, that's about the only thing me and Moose are good at this point. It's all in good spirit, mate. So congratulations, and we'll see you back next week for hopefully another strong performance down around circuit to Barcelona, Catalunya. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Have a good one. All right, Moose, try and give me a 3-word race review out of that.
What sort of language barriers have we got here? Have we?
We've earned something. You know, we've earned a little bit of a leeway here.
Well, 3 words: holy titty balls. But what a tier 2 race we've seen. If the next handful of races for the rest of the season are like that, I'll die a happy man. Jeez.
Mate, I was glued to the front of my seat. My eyes were not blinking, wide open for the entire 29 laps there. There was not a breath taken. The action did not stop, and we were treated with one hell of a race. The support that these guys are receiving on the stream as well, the way they're pushing each other, it's so good to watch. Amir F1 had a follow just a few minutes ago. Thank you for that, my friend. And,
mate, on the follows, we are up to 299 follows. So
299. Have we got one more in us, lads? Nah, but it'll come, mate. Maybe tomorrow night for Tier 1.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
Is at 7:30 Australian.
I'll tell you what, mate. I will. I'm not entirely convinced that I'm following, so I'll. Oh no, there you go. I am following already. So. But
Well,
yeah,
we'll get it in due time, mate. But
it's an absolute. It just shows how good we are as a racing league, mate. It's race one of our second season, and we're about to hit 300 followers. So the guys, the full-time drivers, the reserve drivers, and all of our spectators, it is something that is absolutely just going to go to new heights, and I am absolutely thrilled to be a part of it.
yeah, absolutely, mate. It's as you said, race 1 of 23 for Tier 2, race 2 of the entire 3 divisions, which is of 69. And thank it is me, boss, with the follow. That's 300. I know that's you, Whitey, secretly, but thank you, my friend. We appreciate it. But yeah. It's now 67 races of the season left, and it's going to be one hell of a 67 races to pay attention to. But I think that's almost all for tonight. I don't think we can sum it up anymore. I don't think we have the vocabulary moose to sum it up in some sort of relative
Speak for yourself.
Illiterate way. Oh, speak for yourself. Right, you can throw me a bit of shade, but it's been one hell of a stream, one hell of a race to watch. And all we can encourage you out there on Twitch is to tune back in next week or tomorrow night for Tier 1. The action doesn't stop. Tuesday to Thursday night, we have our divisions racing. It is Bahrain this week. Next week is Spain. And then we're on to Monaco round 3. So until we see you again, stay safe out there. And we'll see you very shortly. Fuck me sideways, man.
Man, I think I need another shower. I'm sweaty as.
Mate, I am fucking dripping.
I can't believe we've hit 300 followers.
Well, my Twitch is at 300, and we're even now. And I've always said that we will catch me we're averaging 50 views on OSRL now. I average 7 viewers.
Is that all?
It's just, yeah, because a lot of my early followers were just real life mates, so they don't actually watch. They just got you up